Welcome back to the This Is the Music Meets Podcast, an independent podcast show that's dedicated to introducing you to rising indie and alternative artists from across the UK and Ireland. If you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any brand new episodes, and please do drop us a comment as I would love to hear from you. Okay then, let's dive right into it. This is episode 154 and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Little Juke to chat about their debut album, festival season and much, much more. So Hannah, Steve and Alex, it is a very warm welcome to the This Is the Music Meets podcast. Thanks very much for joining me today. How are you guys doing?
How are we doing? Yeah, good to be here. Thanks for having us.
Good, great stuff. And one of the things maybe for This Is the Music listeners who maybe are coming across you for the very first time, how did Little Juke start? What was the background?
Well, we've sort of played together for a while now, say through lockdown and things like that. Started off, I was like a solo musician, and then through various lineup changes, met Steve. And then a few people dropped out that lineup and whatnot, and Steve was like, "Oh, I know someone who might be able to play bass." Yeah, he said I'll have to have a little word with her, but I think she'll be a good fit. And then
make it, could you?
But then we got
Han. Brilliant, love that.
I jest. No, Han was the replacement, and I remember meeting Han in Steve's kitchen, and we just hit it off, and we were talking about it recently actually, and we just said like since then how good it's been, and and then obviously we got Tom, and it's like gone forward, and then Little Duke came about sort of the beginning of last year, and I always wanted it like a music project that involved all of us really, and I said we were sort of in the thick of writing songs, and I said if we're writing these songs and we're going to record them, it'd be good to go as a band name, and then hey presto, Little Duke arrived.
Yeah, and on that name then, who came up with it? Where did it come from?
We banded a few ideas, didn't we?
It's always the hardest thing, isn't it? Naming
it is, isn't it? Yeah. We all had a few ideas, and then it was sort of towards the end of lockdown, and I remember just sorting through some stuff in the house. There's nothing else to do other than sort stuff out, throw things away, and I just come across a card from my nan, and it was like a Christmas card. I remember looking inside it, reading it, and on the left-hand side of the card, she always used to sort of sign it Nan's Little Duke, and I thought that's a pretty cool name actually, Little Duke. It's sort of personal, and I forwarded to the guys and said, "What do you think about this?" And luckily, everybody was like, "Yeah, sounds cool. Let's go with it." And it was simple as that, really.
Oh, nice! What a nice little sort of story there. A little backstory into how the name came around there. Obviously quite personal as well to yourself there, Alex, but Anna, I'll come to you on this one. Obviously the debut album, Departures from the States of Mind, obviously came out in back in February. Obviously put it out on cassette, vinyl, CD, as well as streaming platforms. So kind of like then, what was the thinking behind covering all of those bases? Did you ever think about maybe just doing one or a combination? What was the sort of process behind that?
I think we released when it was under Alex's name, we released what's the album? The EP called? Oh my god, that's terrible. We released the previous.
She ain't bothered about my stuff now.
Lost Person's Meeting Point. Jesus. Wow, that was
I'll let us stew on that one. I ain't gonna help out.
So oh man, we released The Last Person's Meeting Point on vinyl, and then I think when it came to this album, because of the way we sort of, we've been working on it for quite a long time, and I think we wanted to sort of celebrate it as much as we could. So having the kind of diverse, the vinyls. Obviously, you've got the splatter vinyl, and then we've got the sort of standard vinyl, and then bringing CD and cassette. I think the cassettes were just a bit of a little retro touch. But yeah, it was nice to kind of just put it out on all different platforms so that you could put it wherever you wanted, really.
It's money, really. We just wanted all the money we could get.
Yeah, basically. Just stone cold. That's all it is. It's all about the money.
Give us your money.
Well, yeah, definitely on the physical side of things, we all know how bad the royalties are out of Spotify, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. And do you all own cassette players, record players, CD players? Is it or are you just, you know, like a lot of people now, streaming on my phone and that's kind of it type of thing?
I think the three of us are all quite into our records, aren't
Yeah, we've all got vinyl players, yeah.
we? Yeah.
Steve's like the sort of king of vinyls.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's got like a crazy setup, you know. It's I don't know if you want to expand on that.
Well, I mean, it's where we played our album first time around, wasn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Came around to mine, played it loud, which was good fun.
Yeah, cassette player. I haven't.
No.
I've got one somewhere. I'd imagine, but where I'm not sure. CD player, got one in the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had like an old all-in-one record player, so it was like the speakers combined, but it was record, CD, and cassette. So I've still got one knocking about somewhere. I've not used it, but it's there.
Brilliant. And Steve, I'll come to you on this one first. The album in places obviously feels really huge and sort of like cinematic, but still sort of got like that rawness as well about it. When the album was being recorded, what was like going through like everyone's heads when you were making it, or clearly, and when you listen back to it now, how do you feel about hearing back the album now?
Well, listening back to it, we feel a lot of pride, really. Which is probably for me is the main feeling. But I found when we were recording it, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't feel there was a lot going through my head, really. It was just kind of... But it was also... I was enjoying recording and playing music because we recorded it in 2021, so we've been locked up for so long, and it was just... it's just a pleasure to do, to be honest. I didn't feel like I had to confer with what we were all thinking. It was like expressing myself, I suppose, really. That's how I felt when I was recording it.
Yeah, it is a bit mad, isn't it, actually? Because it felt like it just came together really easily. Like you say, there's some moments there where there's a lot going on in the tracks. But it was just like a Lego set, I guess. We just kept putting pieces down, and it just grew and grew, and yeah, into a monster, really.
Yeah, sure, okay. And obviously the first single that you released from it, Down the Rabbit Hole, was described by Radio X DJ, and I can now call him a friend of the podcast, John Kennedy, as sort of Radiohead meets Massive Attack. When you heard that comment and that feedback on that track, what was the feeling like? I mean, to get, obviously we all know what, where John Kennedy is with supporting, up and coming artists. So yeah, what was that feeling like?
It was massive, I think, for the whole band.
Yeah, it was.
You can't really put it into words. I think we'd sort of gone that long it was our first major radio play, really. And it's the sort of thing I think any artist sort of wants to hear. They just want to hear the track on radio. And for someone like, John Kennedy, he was a massive champion of new music and everybody looks up to sort of choose our track as like his record of the week, or his hot one. And then to say that about the track, it was like, wow, because we've been sitting on the track for a while. And I think you start getting in your own head thinking, are people going to enjoy it? Are they going to think of it as highly as we think of it? So when he said that, it was like, wow, man, this is pretty special. I think we just floated around in space for a while after that. So.
and I guess as well, does that sort of, we all know how difficult it is for artists coming, trying to break through, but does that also as well sort of like vindicate, like the hours that you would have spent in terms of like writing the song, like putting down your own, like working out your own individual parts, and then obviously getting like to record the track before getting it on? Does that make it all worthwhile for you when you hear something like that coming back?
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely, it really does. Yeah,
it's like you say, all the hours that I don't think people see all the hours that go into sort of writing and recording music, and then again, like I say, we sat on it for a little while, and then you think, is anything going to happen with it? And then to get that, it was like, it's made it all worthwhile. Sort of made holding on to it for that, that little longer to sort of, it gave it its credit that we wanted it to get, really. So yeah, it's magic. We love the sort of reception to that track, and it sort of kick-started Little Duke as a band, really.
Yeah, sure. And so obviously you released 4 singles from the album. Obviously Down the Rabbit Holes, as we just mentioned, No Illusions, When the Sea Came to Tea, and Time on My Mind as well. So when it comes to selecting songs as singles, what's the thought process behind it? Do you all have to be in agreement, or is someone just going, do you know what, that has got to be a single? How does it work in Little Duke?
I think it's a bit of both. I think there's ones that stand out as being kind of singles, and I think for me especially Rabbit Hole was definitely the one that should be the lead single that kind of goes out. And I think obviously if you listen to the album, there's such variety of songs on there. So, and I think it was more of a case of we wanted to showcase different sides of the coin, really, of what we've got on the album, and essentially give everyone a little taster. That's what it sort of felt like to me of what was coming through. And we are pretty solid in the agreement of what kind of goes out.
We put it together and we say which one do you think we should go with. And I think, as Hans said, there were ones that sort of stood out more than others. I think we could have probably released like about 7 or 8 of the songs as singles, really. I think we're going to put out a couple of more with maybe a B-side and stuff like that at the end of the year. But yeah, I think Rabbit Hole was one. I think it's just like, for a band, it's just a bit different to a lot of the tracks that are out there at the moment. So we wanted to put that out and say, like, this is what we've got to offer. Setting our stall. I think it just sort of it was so different. We thought it was like a good sort of impact track to get out there first, and then the others, like you say, just showcasing the songwriting, really, and the different sounds we have. But yeah, we had other people as well inputting, going, we reckon you should put that track and that track, and it's like, but then as a band we came together and we sort of had a chat about it and chose the songs.
Yeah, and you're saying was that from like live shows that you'd done that you were getting that feedback from, that that should be a single release, or
like friends and shows, obviously we sort of played some of the tracks to close friends and things, and it's just interesting, isn't it? Like a track that we think that's the track, that's what people want to hear, and then other people go, actually, I like that track, or I like a track that a lot of people are following the album, actually, that sort of came to the forefront was like Strange Fruit. Now I thought that was a bit more niche and a bit more intricate, and maybe not a track that would stand out to people, but a lot of people have said they really enjoy that track, like lyrically and the sort of beat. It's just always amazes me to hear other people's perception of songs and what they take from them and which ones they like.
Yeah, sure, okay, and it's not just here in England that obviously the album is getting a lot of love as well, because last week The Escape was made Song of the Week over in Boston, Massachusetts, on Bumblebee Radio. Obviously, fantastic achievement. Obviously, we mentioned to get those great words from John Kennedy, but when you're then getting played in a different country altogether. And obviously getting, connecting with people clearly in a different country. What's the feeling like for that? I mean, I'm guessing that must be sort of like mind blowing. How you said that
it's mad, isn't it?
It's the beauty of the internet, I suppose, isn't it? But these things you sort of go and about your day-to-day life, and then that pops up on social. Well, it's happened a few times actually with the States, and it's like, hang on a sec, somebody. I think Del from one of the radio stations in the States tagged us in. He's like, playing Little Duke ahead of Cast before they come on at their show in New York, and I'm like, what? Hang on a sec, what's this about? And it is mind blowing, but it's amazing I think it's beautiful when that happens, you know, and see that it's reaching people. And you know, we're not a band that sort of like have a big PR team and sort of ram down people's throats. It's nice to hear our tracks are going out there and sort of organically sort of reaching people's ears, and they're going, yeah, I like this, I'll give it a go. So yeah, it's going back to the John Kennedy thing. We float around the space for a bit and sort of wonder how that's happened. I think anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree.
No, it's just like our songs are more well travelled than we are.
And as a result of that, have you of the American thing, has that helped, you know, pick up some sort of like new listeners, new fans to sort of checking out the music? Have you seen a difference for that?
Yeah, it's on the stats and things. You see, like, it's funny when you see like Dudley is like your top player, and then it's like America, like New York or something is like your second one. It's like, how is that happening? Like, so it's like my mum and dad are listening to the songs and somebody in America. So yeah, it's my aunt and uncle in America. It is mad. Like now as well. Like you look at like things like Spotify. And where people are listening to, and it's like, how the hell is the song like getting there? But
yeah, this isn't it.
It's amazing, really, and I hope it continues to grow, and one day we get to go and play there.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic. And maybe for those This Is The Music listeners who haven't heard the album yet, how would you describe it?
Oh, it's a melting pot of cinematic indie goodness, I reckon.
Oh, I like that. That's great. I like that.
That's it's like a hot pot. Yeah.
Simmering
nice.
for hours.
Yes, simmering for hours and years. It's good for the soul. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a real mix. I think. Yeah, there's some things on there that everyone's gonna love. Some things people might not like so much. I don't know, but I think there's something for everyone on there.
Yeah, sure. Well, it is definitely a fantastic album, and full credit for what you've put together, because I think, you know, the proof is in the pudding, as they say, with you know, the feedback that you've had from it, you know, across your socials, and obviously with the radio play there that obviously we've mentioned a little bit of. But let's talk live music, because 2025 has obviously been extremely busy for Little Duke. You did a 15-day UK tour across January, February, and April, playing up and down the country. When you reflect back on those dates, are there any special moments, Hannah, I'll come to you on this one, that you sort of like look back on with, you know, a lot of fondness and, you know, like really stand out for you?
I think the big one's got to be the album launch. I said it to the boys the other week. It feels like it was years ago, yesterday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Completely different time. But that was really special. The whole day, the whole lead up to it. And I think, you know, obviously we've said that we wrote the album quite a while ago, and all of that kind of culminated to that night. And it was incredible. It was amazing. And then the following night we did Bournemouth, which was pretty spectacular as well in its own way. Those are the ones that kind of are the big ones for me. We're really lucky with amazing venues this year.
Yeah, I think we've had lots of firsts, haven't we?
Yeah, Newcastle was another one that was
wicked. Yeah,
and Edinburgh recently was amazing.
We've had so many firsts. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we've played a lot of the O2s this year, haven't we? And, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Edinburgh, Lincoln,
Lincoln
Norwich.
was great.
Yeah, I think you saying that just actually. So we played a show at the waterfront in Norwich. It's cool. And then we played a show following that at the Arts Centre, and it's the first time really we've sort of gone back to an area, and people were coming to the show with like T-shirts on, merch that they bought and all that was just like a sign that was like, that's pretty cool. That's a nice thing to see.
There was someone there in an Alex Owen T-shirt as well. It's like, man, you've been around for ages. Jeez. It was really, really cool. That was really special, actually.
That was bad. That was. He gets around with us. He does. Yeah. You're right. We've had such a good year.
Yeah.
We've absolutely buzzed off pretty much every show we've played, and we just feel really lucky to have had those opportunities.
Yeah, sure, and obviously also as well, it's not just your own sort of headline shows that you've been playing. Obviously, you've been busy as well on the festival front as well. Obviously, you played at Loop Festival, Feel the Noise, 110 Above. And obviously, I think last week, maybe the week before, I've lost track of my weeks here, that you obviously played as well at the Lake Fest on the BBC introducing stage. So, yeah, I was to say, very busy time for festival season. So, how was it for Little Duke?
It was a good crack, really. I always feel like festival seasons, it's almost like a bit of a time you can celebrate in the midway through the year, and catch up with
Steve
bands.
says that because he got to come to festival season, and we sort of drove him around, and he sat there with his broken foot. And he's like, "Yeah, this is great, man." So, we're there like carrying all these amps and stuff, and it's like, oh. And I'll tell you what, we got to Lake Fest, and Steve's like, "Have you got my pedal board?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh, was it at the lockup?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh, shit, I've left it at home." So, but yeah, you're right. The festival season is pretty good. Apart from that, it's pretty good, man.
Yeah, we're knackered.
I'm raring to go.
It's been a top festival season.
Yeah.
Good workout for us all. It is good fun though. I mean, I quite like the way festivals now. You just get up like to the stage before, like half an hour before you play, and you just get on and play. That's quite nice. There's been some really good festivals. 110 was great. Lake Fest, brilliant. All of them have been great in their own way.
And we've had really good weather the whole festival season, which is rare. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's been nice to go, like, I don't need a coat. Don't need a coat today.
Happy days.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to ask, but you sort of half answered this with Steve's guitar pedals there. But do you prepare any differently for a festival show compared to a headline set?
Yeah, I mean, this year, like I say, I broke my foot to prepare, and then just left all my gear at home. Yeah, worked out well.
Who needs gear for festivals? That's how long. Musical equipment, let's say. Just to reiterate that one.
We all knew what you meant, Alex.
Thank you. I mean, the festivals, we've like, you can sort of not take your foot off the gas, but like when we did the hometown show, it was like quite a big production. We had like lights, videos. It feels like, a lot of choreography sort of going into it. Like, but with the festivals, it's like we've got like a certain set or a couple of sets that we go with, and it's literally a good chance just to get on there and just smash it out. And leave people wanting more, really, and that's what we found. A lot of people have enjoyed the set we've played and gone, like, want to hear more, where you playing next. You on Spotify, Amazon, whatever. So yeah, it's just a nice sort of chance to go full throttle and leave your impression, really.
Yeah, sure. And on every This Is Music Meets podcast, we ask our guests a series of questions that are sort of designed to be a little bit more light-hearted, and sort of hopefully help the listeners find out a little bit more about the artists that we are interviewing. So Hannah, I'll come to, well, this is for all of you really, but I'll come to you first on this one. What was the first gig you ever went to as a punter?
I think it was Simply Red. I think that was my first ever gig. I think I was 5. It was that one, or I went and saw... No, it was Simply Red, yeah. I love Simply Red, man, that's it.
You know what's weird? Because I think my first gig was Simply Red, and I think it was probably the same one you went to. I think it was. I was like, the one like my dad dragged me towards, and strangely, the guy that we recorded with, Roy at RML Studios, I think we were talking, and I think his first gig was Simply Red as well. So there's something going on in the Midlands. I don't know what. Yeah, yeah, the Hook, man, the Hook.
That's it.
How about you, Steve?
It was
Simply Red.
No, it was either the Blue Man Group or Eric Clapton, I think.
Okay.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Obviously, as we just discussed there, you obviously played a number of festivals this year, but is there a dream festival that you'd like to go and play at?
I mean, for me, it'd be Glastonbury, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for all of us it'd be a nice one to do. So if anybody out there is listening, you know where we are, man. Pyramid Stage, here we come.
Absolutely, 2020. Oh no, I was going to say 2026, but they're not doing it next year, are they?
No, they're not now.
No, so okay.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get back and do South by Southwest at some point.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Not too many miles in that one, but yeah. That Steve doesn't break his foot again if we ever get there.
If you could only pick one moment of 2025 that defined Little Duke, what would it be?
Be the album launch, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the album launch.
I've got quite a specific. So when we came off stage after the album launch, you all sort of side of stage and had like this little huddle, and I think that for me is like my favourite moment of this year. It's pretty special. Yeah, that's very accurate, but that was my little bit.
Yeah, it was nice.
No.
That's almost as good as the part when we came back from Chelmsford. That was quite defining.
Yeah, that was the wrong side of
I was driving back home and had to pull over, passed out, and smashed my face off the floor, and Steve had to drive me back home. So.
Oh wow!
It turns out it wasn't anything from alcohol; it's food poisoning. So.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Wow.
Bad,
Yeah.
Steve brought me the rap. It's all Steve. It is Steve, man.
I'm just going to point out that was my birthday morning as well. And I was like,
wow!
cheers, Al.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, was you?
yeah.
Yeah, was you? Yeah.
Wow!
Good. Not that I'm making it about me or anything.
It was a solid tour.
It was, yeah.
If you were all stranded on a desert island, who's surviving the longest, and who's giving up first?
So we were stranded on a desert island. We got that part.
Yeah.
What are we giving up? Before we answer this question.
Where was I? If you're all stranded on a desert island, who's surviving the longest, and who's giving up first?
Well, Han's barely hanging on anyway with her body on it.
I mean, it's not a lie. It's not a lie. I might surprise you. I've got some grit.
I'll say Tom's going first.
Yeah.
Without TikTok, Tom would be like, I've got to go.
Yeah.
Is it?
Who's surviving?
Who's surviving the longest? I'm still saying it can't be Han, surely.
They'll use me like a life raft. That's what they'll do.
Well, I'm surviving obviously because Steve probably get ravaged by a bear. Or
That's true. Yeah, I'm already hindered. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd probably get gangrene on his gammy foot or something like that, like trench foot. Beach foot, I don't know.
Just the sand weighs him down.
Yeah.
Which I know which city hasn't given you the best post gig takeaway after what you just said there about Chelmsford, but which city or venue has given you the best post gig takeaway?
Oh
Oh my god!
I think Newcastle.
There was Newcastle the pizza. No, Lincoln was the pizza, wasn't it?
Oh, I mean takeaway. Oh, sorry.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
What do you think?
What? I mean, like, what was the best
how
one?
you felt?
Post-match analysis. Like, I took away the...
I feel like, the midfield was good. I don't know. 'Cause I didn't
That
eat-
pizza's pretty good in Newcastle.
Oh,
You
yeah.
ain't eaten it.
No,
I'll tell you what
no.
was good. We had in Liverpool. Remember when we went to that pizza place after
Oh, that's
the
banging.
Jacaranda gig, was
Oh,
it?
yeah, the Idols
Oh,
guy was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joe, was it
Phenomenal.
Joe? Models. It was DJ sitting, and they had a great pizza, man, and
Oh, yeah.
that was really good. That was actually.
Yeah, that was banging.
Yeah, we had a good burger at 110 Festival. That was pretty smart as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Nice. Okay. If you could only cover one song from another artist and put your own like little Duke spin on it, what are you choosing?
Oh, my God.
We need time to prepare the answer for this one. A song that we cover, what do you reckon?
Well, we have covered one song already, I suppose. Remember we had the Little Duke cover.
That's debatable. If that was... what song would you do, man?
I'd quite like to do something totally left field. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Not
not something.
Spice Girls or something.
Yeah, we could.
Surely it's got to be Simply Red. There's obviously a theme through here, right?
It's hard, man, because we've played around with a few. Because if we do the covers, we like to sort of put a twist on it. There was one you said.
Oh, yeah. One we've had on the back burner for a while, said we should do was Redbone's. What was it called?
Stay.
Um,
Well, was that not? I can't remember the name of it.
Childish Gambino in it, Redbone.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
was
it.
it? Redbone's the song. That's it.
I'd like to do Radiohead Daily Mail and get like the brass and everything on it. I'd quite like that, but I'd have to learn how to play it, and that would take 10 years or something like that. So we could, well, maybe in the next episode we'll tell you the answer to that one properly.
Brilliant. I'll hold you to that.
Just because we do like covering tracks, and if we do, and we tend to sort of put our. We also said actually a good one would be Faithless.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Become One or Insomnia, something like that.
Yeah. Nice. And if I was to give you a time machine and you could travel to any time in musical history, to any gig, in history, and be in the crowd, where would you go?
Oh my God.
So many though, isn't there?
Oh, you want to say like the 60s? Really, I quite like it, but I thought the 90s, like as a kid, was pretty good, man. Some great bands out there, Civic Hall, going to the Verve for like £14 and stuff like that. Shed 7, Embrace, Oasis, they're all there, so that's pretty good.
I'd love to have seen MJ in his prime though. I think that would have been amazing.
Good shout. I like that.
Good point, yeah.
Or Fleetwood Mac. But when they came back for was it the 97 one with Silver Springs?
Oh, yeah, that's
and
good.
Stevie just screaming at Lindsay. That would have been like that would have been really cool.
Yeah, that'd be good. The drama.
Or Spice Girls. Yeah, is the other one.
You'll find that we're a band of very little definitive answers.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't took so long to record.
No one wants to sign us because we can't decide what genre we are.
Brilliant. So obviously, you've had a bit more over than just over halfway of 2025. Obviously now, but obviously you've had a massive year so far. Is probably the best way of putting it. So kind of like then, what's next for Little Duke? What can we expect in the latter half of this year, and sort of looking ahead into 2026?
We started demoing tracks again. I mean, we're always writing, but we started to our sights are sort of fixed on like the next record now. And in the meantime, we're going to get back out on the road. We've got some dates coming up that we're really looking forward to, and we're going to try and get like some little tours and things put together again. Next year, I'm going to try and get a little tour with like another big hometown show, which is sort of in the planning. But yeah, at the moment we're sort of just writing and getting our heads around some new tracks, which we're pretty excited about, really, because although we love playing these tracks, it's always nice to sort of get some new ideas down and try and get the energy into those songs, really, that were sort of, riding the buzz of, the reception of this record and put that into the next recording, really.
Yeah, sure. And one final question from me: playing live or being in the studio and recording?
Playing live for me, I think.
Yeah,
Playing live, I think. Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed the process of recording with these guys. It's been one of the best experiences I've had in the studio. But I don't think people realise how sort of like long and tedious the sort of studio days can be. It's great, but I think sometimes when you hear that click for like 10 hours a day and like going over the same part, you like come out frazzled. But yeah, I think live, especially this year, it's been a different level for us, really.
Yeah, sure. Look, Alex, Hannah, and Steve, unfortunately, that is the end of the This Is the Music Meets podcast. Thank you very much for joining me for episode 154. I've had a great laugh, and it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, despite some of our technical difficulties tonight. But we've got there, and that's the most important thing. But before I do let you go, could one of you very kindly just let the This Is the Music listeners know the social media platforms that they can find Little Duke on?
Yeah, you can find us on all the social media platforms at Little Duke Music, and that's X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. So at Little Duke Music. Thanks for having us. I appreciate it, Mark.
Not a problem at all. I've honoured, as I say, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great laugh, and I greatly appreciate that. I'll put all those links in the episode bio to your socials, also as well as your little online store as well, where you can go and obviously go and buy a physical copy of the debut album, which we know is the best way to go and support. And right on cue, it's like you knew I was going to say this bit. Brilliant, love that. That's brilliant. Look, thanks again, honestly, for coming on. The album's brilliant. And I think it's been reflected, with all the feedback and all the comments that you've had across social media, and obviously all the radio plays on different shows you've had as well. And just keep on doing what you're doing, because I think there's a lot of people out there that absolutely love Little Duke, and I can't wait to hear and see what else is in store for you, in the rest of 2025 and into 2026 and beyond.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Big love to you, man. Good luck with everything. Appreciate it.
And all that leaves me to say is to thank everyone for listening to the latest This Is the Music Meets podcast. Please subscribe so you never miss out on any brand new episodes. And if you are loving the podcast, I would love to hear from you. So do please leave a comment. If you are listening to this episode on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, then stay tuned, because at the end of this episode, you'll be able to hear No Illusions by Little Duke, which of course features on the band's debut album, Departures from the States of Mind, which is of course out now on all streaming and download platforms. And as we mentioned earlier on in the podcast, is also available as a physical copy from Little Duke's online store. The link to that is in the episode bio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for another This Is the Music Meets podcast. And remember, the future is bright. The future is indie.